Moana 2 is an animated musical from Disney and a sequel to their 2016 hit film, Moana. The film is the directorial debut of David Derrick Jr., Jason Hand, and Dana Ludo Miller. The film is written by Miller and Jared Bush, who is known for writing Zootopia and Encanto. Set 3 years after the first film, it follows the titular character reuniting with the demigod Maui and assembling a wayfinding crew in order to find the lost island Motefetu and break its curse. This review will be spoiler-free. For the sake of the exhibition industry, I'm glad that this film is doing great business, but boy does it fall short of the mark. The first Moana is a pretty strong film with good characters, good songs, a nice story, and marvelous animation. Once again, Disney does prove here that when it comes to 3D animation, no other studio can match them. The water simulation is really something to behold, as is the hair simulation, the expressive faces, and attention to detail with the varying complexion in people's skin, whether it's the neck or arms or legs. Moana and Maui are again really fun to follow with great chemistry and expressive voice acting. The same cannot be said for the supporting characters. The first act for this film is a pretty decent setup. I thought it showed promise actually. Moana has to get a team assembled, which is a fun idea, but they don't make a sequence out of it. They just assemble the team immediately and they never flesh them out. I don't even remember their names. The villain is extremely underdeveloped here, and it is often unclear what direction they were intending with that character. The storyline feels very thrown together and undefined. Much has been said about how this film was originally intended to be a Disney Plus series, and you can feel that. It is obvious that the story has been haphazardly retooled. I thought it was nice enough while watching, but it is extremely forgettable and not up to the standard of the first film. To do this as a film was an indubitably smart decision financially, but the audience deserves something with more care put into it. The amount of swift, meaningless, fantastical action sequences that are randomly shoved in throughout the film was amusing. Unfortunately, Lin-Manuel Miranda did not return to do the music for this film, and so the songs for Moana 2 are very bland. They are nice enough while you're watching the film. I suppose they get the job done, they don't annoy you, but they are not melodically interesting. They don't advance the story or characters, and you forget them as soon as they are done being sung. They are mediocre. I'm sure kids will enjoy this film. It's not offensive. It's fine, it's a good thing that people will enjoy it, but I doubt that the kids will really return to it in the future as often as they do the first film at least, which was certainly successful upon release, but it has taken on a whole new life on streaming and home video. It is insane that it has taken Disney this long to make a sequel, and the fact that it's taken them this long, you would expect something better. It's so painfully average, which is quite disappointing. Moana 3 will certainly be on the way, and we can only hope that it is better than this one. Fingers crossed that the live-action Moana is good, as most Disney live-action remakes are soulless cash grabs. The decision to bring back Dwayne Johnson as the live-action Maui is an inspired one. As much as I don't really find him that interesting an actor, Maui is his best role. Let's just hope that the live-action film is not a beat-for-beat, complete copy and paste of the animated version, as so many of the live-action remakes that Disney do are. I am harsh on children's entertainment because I don't think it is excusable to make something that doesn't respect them as an audience just because they are children. That's exploitative. This film is okay. It will not necessarily disappoint children in the moment, but they will likely forget it quickly. it isn't really good enough. I wouldn't recommend it unless you have kids, as I do think it is important to take kids to the cinema and to give them a proper experience rather than just watching something on streaming. Taking them to the cinema means that they can truly escape into another world in the way that art should take them. They can learn to have more mature attention spans and to behave correctly in a public setting, having a communal experience, to have their imagination captured. If you're a childless adult like me, I have to be honest, this isn't really worth paying for, unless you want to support the box office, which is in itself a valid reason. My expectations were admittedly low, so I am not exactly surprised to say that this film falls short of its predecessor, and Disney does have a bad track record with sequels. Moana 2 doesn't offer anything that the first film didn't already do better.